I'm going to give you 10 lighting setups, tell you why I think the Elincrom 57-inch Indirect Litemotiv is the most versatile softbox I've ever used, and throw in a grip tip as well. From beauty, fashion, portraits, and e-commerce, you're going to want to stick around. Before we get into why, let's review some lighting setups. And don't worry, if this softbox isn't right for you, I'll give you some alternatives as well at the end of the video. The first setup, you simply can't go wrong. For flawless beauty images, simply put it behind you. Have your model between 3 and 5 feet away, and you'll get flawless skin and beautiful catch lights like you see in these images here. And for more dimension, don't be scared to move to the side, but still have your model looking into the light. You'll pick up the soft shadow behind her and have a nice lighting ratio to give a little bit more depth to your image. And the second setup, we put 2 of these side by side, angled towards our model. And now we're going to shoot between them. This is where I really like the square shape. I also angle them so that they wrap around our model more. At a glance, the light looks similar to our first setup, but side by side, you can see the catch lights in the eyes are totally different. The specular highlights on the lips completely soften out, and the contouring of the face is much flatter. I would light like this if this was a jewelry shoot, and we wanted big highlights, while also getting very smooth skin. Now, what if your client wants a shadowless e-commerce look? Even easier. Simply stack 2 of these on a simple rolling stand and you have a softbox measuring almost 5 by 10 feet, 4 3/4 by 9.5 feet to be exact. The secret to making this virtually shadowless is to put your model very close to the background. And if you're a one-person crew that day and need to shoot a bunch of looks, you can simply set your tripod, lock your focus, and fire your camera using Capture One and directing your model from the side. You may have noticed I'm using an ultra-wide display. It's the BenQ PD3420Q. I do a lot of shoots based on a lot of long shot lists. It allows me the ability to easily have my capture window open, my shot list right next to it, and have my laptop open with an internet browser in case I need to quickly look something up for a client without having to open and close windows. It gives me great color, and I power my laptop through it, so no need for extra plugs. I'll even run it off of a small 500-watt battery in the studio to be even more portable. Now from this 2 light stack, there are 2 variations. First, what it would look like if we just used the light above. You get more depth to your shadows and the light falls off a bit from the top to the bottom. Second, if you only turn on the light from the bottom, it gives you a more editorial feel. I'd also recommend having your model angle her face down towards the light if you go this route. But there is no hard fast rule, except having the face angled towards the light source is usually more flattering and makes it easy to get nice catch lights in the eyes. Now for our next setup, we simply place the softbox aside, feathered to get a more dramatic editorial or simple portrait look. You pretty much can't go wrong here, and the look is simply timeless. This is usually the first position people go to when they're beginning their journey into off-camera flash. The images are simple, and having the light to the side makes it easy to move in for close-ups or pull back for full-length images. Now the next look is similar in terms of having the light from the side, but now I bring it within 18 to 24 inches for our model. Now we get an exceptionally soft light on our model that has a very dramatic fall off. This makes for beautiful portrait lighting. Next, we're going to put the light above our model. Now, oftentimes, we would use a large boom to do this with a counterweight and a pretty heavy-duty stand. But let me teach you a technique called making a goalpost. Simply take 2 stands and 2 clamps, but use a heavy-duty pipe. I'm using Schedule 40 1.5-inch extruded aluminum. Now instead of hanging a background, I'm simply attaching a clamp with a stud, sandbagging both stands, and setting it to a height that I want it at, preferably with 2 people, but you can inch it up little by little yourself if you don't have 2 people. I attach a safety cable for added safety since it will be above our model. Having a light this large above your model simply creates effortless light. No matter which way they turn, you get great light, and it works for beauty to full-length fashion. Now, one place this large softbox really shines is as a backdrop due to its large size. It's very easy to position the model in front of, and its indirect design of the head mounted in reverse helps to really even out the light. For exposure, I'll either spot meter the background and then open up about 3 stops, or I'll look at my histogram with a flat exposure profile and see where I still have detail in the red, blue, and green channels without completely blowing out the white, but keeping it pretty much right at the edge. This type of setup definitely favors modern cameras with higher dynamic ranges, so you still have room to open up the shadows in post. For me, the Fuji GFX 100S is perfect for a shoot like this. If you move to the side a bit and have your model look back at the light, you get a shot that looks more side lit, quickly giving you another variation to this setup. For the next setup, I'm simply adding in a black 36 by 36 inch floppy, masking the middle of our softbox, and now the exposed outer edges of our softbox are acting like 3 different rim lights. This gives you beautiful even edge light. A quick variation on this is to move the black flag to a 45-degree angle, and now you're going to get a beautiful, more side lit shot, quickly giving your client another variation, simply by moving around just a little bit. Now to extend the last 2 setups, we simply add V-flats in front. For the shot on white, I'm going to use a simple white V-flat and shoot between them. Now we get this beautiful angelic light that is really soft, with this gorgeous light wrapping around from the back as well. And with the V-flats in, we add a 36 by 36 inch floppy in the back of our model, so now we get this very dramatic rim light around our model with a soft fill in the front. Okay, so we just went through 10 setups and a few variations, using just this one modifier. So why out of the thousands of softboxes out there would I choose this one as my absolute favorite? Well, it comes down to wanting soft light. The larger the light source relative to the size of your subject, the softer the light. And this softbox is big, and because it had a non-recessed front, it is easy to stack and create even bigger light sources. Remember I showed you the goalpost? Use the same technique to hang 3 of these along a longer pipe using a pipe coupler, and you can have a seamless looking softbox at roughly 5 by 15 feet. Great for cars, motorcycles, or large groups. I like that the mount can be simply modified, so you can attach a grip head to mount this. It makes it much easier to attach a safety cable when doing more advanced rigging, and getting it dialed in better when stacking. You'll often find them adapted like this in rental houses. Next, let's talk about construction. It's built with the same DNA as its 75-inch octagonal cousin, probably the most widely used softbox amongst professionals, from Annie Leibovitz, and you'll see it constantly used in behind-the-scenes images on Archdriver's Instagram, and many others. It's the most rented softbox used in the photo industry and built to take a beating. It also holds its shape very well. The softboxes I'm showing you here have been used for about 2 years, and they are still perfectly square, and the front face is not prone to the softbox sags many large softboxes face over time. Also rare for softboxes this size is its quick open mechanism, so it just easily pops open and closed. And for its size, it has a very shallow depth. This makes it ideal to use as a fill light when you have to work in tight spaces, and you want to place it directly behind you or against the wall. Things to consider out of the box is it needs to be adapted to work with a Profoto or Bowens mount. Elinchrom makes a Profoto adapter, and you can find other third-party Elincrom to Bowens mount adapters as well. When using with the Profoto D2, I removed the silver deflector plate so I can put the head in deeper for better balance, and to put less stress on the mount. I have not found any difference in light quality, but I'd continue to use the deflector plate if I was just using a Pro head. Also, Light Tools is the only company that I know that makes a grid for these in 50, 40, 30, and 30-50 degree sizes. If this softbox just isn't in your plans, but you want to still try some of the lighting setups above, all these looks would still work with just a giant 4x6 softbox, a 5-foot Octa, or a 65-inch white umbrella with a diffuser over it. There are many softboxes out there, but this one just hits different. When I think about soft light, I want the largest light source possible, but something I can still bring with me anywhere, and is quick to set up. For me, this one simply does it better than any other softbox out there. But in the comments below, let me know what your favorite softbox is. I'd like to know if you like something larger, something smaller, something direct versus indirect. There is no right or wrong answer here, but there are levels to this. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to see more content just like this on Adorama TV. And as you know, there's levels to this.